Checking in. This is Dash Trending, another episode on currently trending live, and we have a exclusive interview with Isha from the Lions Den, one of the CEOs of the Lions Den restaurant. But we have to dive in today a little bit more about the Lions Den, correct?
Yes.
A little bit more details, information, so people can understand not just the history but where they are now. I think that's the overall concept today. So Isha, how you doing?
I am well.
You sure?
Yes.
You feel like the journey has been exciting, fun? What would you classify it in one word?
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yes.
For this year, for
Yes.
you it's been exciting on the journey.
Yes.
For this year, one word that describes Lion Den's impact for this year.
That's a good question.
Of course it is.
One word to describe Lions then. The impact that we've had this year, I'd go with bold.
Um
I'd go with
Bold.
bold. Yes.
and this is why I start off with that, because when you use a word to describe something, it gives an impact.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you use bold because you have made bold moves,
Yes, we have.
and in a short space of time,
That we
if I
have.
may add. So let's start with the first question here. When the Lions Den restaurant is established, if you want to talk a little bit about that, and how has it been since the takeover?
Okay. So Lions Den has been a staple in Hartford now since 1996.
Wow.
It started with, most people know him, Molo. You know, pretty decent gentleman. I met him after Donovan and I got together. You know, very uplifting. Every time that we've come across paths, he's just been phenomenal in imparting knowledge and encouragement and so on. So everyone knows that, anybody that knows Lions Den knows that it was first on Woodland, and then, you know, there was a fire, place got destroyed, and then they moved to 3347 right in front of the West Indian Social Club. Donovan bought that place from him at the turn of, I think it was 2019, and then right after taking over, it was the pandemic hit.
Wow. An
Yes.
unexpected turn
Yes.
on the journey.
Yes. At that time, I was not around. However, based on feedback that, you know, I had from him, it was good and bad in terms of, you know, good meaning a lot of people at that time wanted to eat healthy. So of course, Lions Den being one of the two most known vegan spots in and around the Hartford area, you know, people came, and he was supported in that regard. But of course, another factor was, you know, a lot of people didn't necessarily want to come out of their house or homes during that time.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, right?
Yes. So it was kind of a bittersweet thing, you know, but got through it. When I met him, just coming out of the pandemic, not entirely, but you know, when we started, you know, our journey, I would say,
As two individuals.
as two individuals, it came uncanny and full circle, because again, I grew up Rastafarian.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes, I think we did talk about that
Yes.
initially, like when
Yes.
we were at the second location. You
Yes.
did mention that. Yes.
So a little bit about my background. My grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, my father, myself, and my siblings were all Rastafarians. When my mother moved away from living with my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, we went to our paternal grandparents' home, and they were 7-day Adventists.
Ooh,
So-
that's a big change.
It is. So, but I grew up basically not eating a lot of meat, especially pork. So, being 7-day Adventist, if you,
Added to that.
yes. So, though we started eating like chicken and stuff like that, it was when I met Donovan, it came full circle and easy for me to assimilate and adapt into eating just
At that point,
vegan,
you're not even.
vegetarian.
At that
because-
point, you're not adapted. You're literally just connecting.
Exactly. So, so pretty much when I came on board with him, you know, of course, I am that type. I'll see something, I'll see a vision, and you know, when we sat, we spoke about what he wanted to do, what his goals were, and I guess we'll talk about that later on. But you know, when I came on board, you know, there were several changes that were made in terms of the menu, in terms of, you know, like the juices that were being offered, you know, and we saw like within the first month of us like really taking things, you know,
To the next level.
to the next level, we saw a drastic improvement in sales. You know, yeah, man, it was phenomenal, and we've been riding that wave ever since, and that is what we have used to propel us into our second location, and now a third location at
location.
Parkville Market. So it's not without its challenges, because of course, you know, with our bold moves,
It's a journey.
yes, there are times that, you know, Donovan and I, we might,
Log off.
yes.
Clock out.
I remember recently I was here, and I got to a point where I'm like, babes, bring me home. I was done. I tapped out, and that's not something that I do often. Actually, I can perhaps count on one hand the amount of times that I've literally like just say, you know what,
I'm tapping out.
I'm tapping out. So I'm a fighter,
It,
you know.
throughout the adversity.
Yeah, man. You know, and growing up, childhood, all of that, I experiences have allowed me to understand that life sometimes
It's not what you make it.
Yeah, it is what you make it.
It's not what it makes you, but what you make it.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm used to challenges, and I'm used to overcoming. Sometimes someone will say to me, I don't know how you operate, you know, because there's something we will need to, you know, get something done, and he will say, boy, babes, and I'll be like, don't worry, babe, we got this. And he'll look at me and he's like, I don't know. I don't operate like that, you know, Isha. I have to make sure that I know what's going on. And I'm like, well,
It's like if I try to figure it out, but you have
Yes.
this mindset where you say, no, man, it's going to work.
it have to work. It have to work.
Um,
Words sound power, you know. That I believe in.
I do believe words have power.
Definitely.
For those who don't know, what is a Rastafarian to you?
So people will say that you don't have to dread to be a Rasta.
True.
I don't necessarily believe
I
that.
believe that you don't have to try to be a
I
Rasta.
don't necessarily believe that.
Ballad Rasta exists.
It's a way of life. However, if you are going by the teachings of the Bible and what it speaks to, Samson lost his strength because him cut him here. And that was a covenant between him and the Creator, right? Good. And then we see in the Bible also where it speaks about what a man should and shouldn't do,
Facts.
right? So for me, I cannot, it's the teachings that I grew up with. My grandfather was a bingy man. Him not a drop on the ground. When he washed his hair, he had to hold it out like this in order for it not to touch the ground. My grandmother equally had the same length of hair.
So it's like a real strong culture of
Yeah,
it
man.
that was really indebted.
Yeah.
So why are you not wearing this identity since you're so
So getting there.
So that's why I went back to that core part of your life.
So when my mother moved from my grandfather's maternal grandfather and went to my paternal grandparents' home, who were churchgoers, My father, who is still a Rasta, thought it necessary or deemed it necessary to cut our hair because he thought that we wouldn't have been given the same opportunities going to school.
So it was more like opportunity decision.
That was their decision, not mine.
Yeah.
So it happened that we would be at our paternal grandmother's home throughout school, and my hair would be combed. My brother would go to the barber, all of that. On summer, during the summertime, when we would go back to my maternal grandparents' home, they would break the combs and throw them away. And for the entire summer, we would not have our hair.
Gone back to the regular.
And it happened like that for quite some time until my grandfather just gave up on it and be like, you know what, your mom, she's a mom, let her decide what to do. So it happened that we eventually grew up. We didn't go back to live with our grandparents. Well, not until like the latter years in high school. My mom took a job in Kingston, and we were schooled in Trelawney. So
that's why I hear the country talk.
Yeah, man, the day and the minute ago, and them something there.
Yeah, the country
Don't get
talk.
it twisted though,
No, I don't want to get anything twisted. The country talk.
Listen, I'm a country girl, and I will forever preface that I'm a country girl. But let me tell you this. I pride myself on the Jamaican vernacular.
Okay.
Because it is my identity, right? And I will never trade that for anything.
Patois with language, man.
Do I have the ability to switch
alternate
over and use the
proper
Queen's English whenever I need to, or wherever it is
like you are doing
necessary?
Now?
I can. I'm also a certified teacher. My special area is literacy development. So I
capable, more than capable.
Yes, and I do have a second degree in leadership and organizational management as well.
Which might add to why we are at 3 locations. But
yes.
let's get a little bit more in depth now to the vision. But before, I just for me personally, I have a random question.
Sure.
Do you feel, and this is just nothing you have to go crazy about, but do you think you will ever get locks?
I started a few times. It's just I haven't found the right individual to
the lock technician.
Yes.
That you actually like.
Yes. My hair is a bit funny. In terms of my great-grandfather, my maternal great-grandfather was a Scottish man, white man with blue eyes, and then my mother's mother, her side of family, they are Indians, some dark skin.
So your hair is kind of thin?
No.
What is it?
On the contrary, it's very thick, but it doesn't have a lot of kink in there. So
the person would have to have a really long history of locking ears.
Yes.
And
I've tried several times, and then it
pull out?
Yeah, that too. I'm actually in the process of trying to get it done now. But trying several modalities. But if I'm to use my own hair to do it, it will pull out. Once it's washed, it will just kind of come apart.
I think it goes with the identity of the restaurant. Definitely. I mean, you want your
and it's not even that. I do not own a wig,
Natural hair.
I don't own a wig.
So you keep it natural.
Yes.
For the most part.
My hair is natural. I don't own a wig. I will more than likely put on a hat like what I'm doing now over a wig.
And if you guys pay attention, the hat is one of the Lions Den, I would say,
yes.
one of the vintage
yes.
Lions Den hats.
As you say that, we do have merch available as well.
So, I mean, I'm happy that you said that because, see, when you have growth,
yes.
it comes with brand identity.
Yes.
And merch would be definitely, as you say, you have marketing lock.
Yes.
So when you pull the chest, you just decide what we are do this week, this
yes.
month.
Yes.
I'm like that, and now, which brings one of the most exciting questions, people.
What's that?
But before I ask Isha the question, take a second just to like the video, comment, drop a comment, share with a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Yes.
1 second, ting, you do it yet? Me not believe you. Go and go like the video.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the like. Isha, this is a very important question because I feel like it spreads that love that people would gain for the Lions Den restaurant and the interest that they will have to come to one of these three locations. What is the vision? The vision board that you are working on. I'm sure it's full of woolly notes.
Yes.
But if you want to put it in a nutshell, if you want to give us some pointers, let us know the vision for the Lions Den restaurant.
Well, right now, we are working on branding. We are working on making Lions Den into a household name. We are working towards, our ultimate thing is to work towards franchising.
Really?
Yes.
So does that include someone liking the lifestyle? Be obviously you have to get somebody who into this because they have to live it, breathe it, and for it to exist with the essence that you guys have worked so hard and put so much work into. They can invest money into their own location, and then they will be an extension
Of the
of
Lions
the
Den
Lions
family.
Den family.
Yes. So that is where we are.
Give me an high
heading.
five.
Yeah, man. That's where we're
Talk
heading.
to me nice or don't talk to me none at all. That's what we call
Yes.
not the white people that alone for the franchise.
No.
I'm sure other black people do, but you know why I'm proud? We're Jamaicans.
Yes.
And we hardly have these conversations. If they exist, they don't happen a lot. So I am excited to hear that you are
Yeah, man.
looking from vision.
So one of the main thing, well, all right, the reason none of us and I click so well, we're both born July.
To all the lie.
Well,
joke.
no,
To all the lie.
No.
Them say July people lie. A
no,
joke,
man.
man.
That's a
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor. That's a rumor. But in actuality, a lot of he has a go-getter mentality, and he has the patience of a saint.
And that's good. Patience is a virtue, but even though I can tell that you're not necessarily a unpatient person.
Impatient.
Yeah, but you are more like, I'm not waiting for it to happen. I want it to happen.
So
I'm gonna go
So
at it.
let me tell you what happens. They say the opposite ends of the magnet attract, right? I'll tell you something. I've always said to Donovan that when the world ends and they're rewriting the Bible, he will have not just a verse, but an entire book in there. Because there are things that he will, I have to literally have to curl my toes, squeeze my hand, bite my teeth,
And conduct yourself.
and conduct myself in such a manner whereby he will just be,
Calm.
yes. And a lot of times, he will be the one to kind of diffuse
A situation.
a lot of situation that
Could have
possibly
escalated.
could have escalated. And again, as women, you know, we operate from an
Emotional
emotional
standpoint,
standpoint, and so on. So he will be, whenever he knows when I'm about to go off. He's so in tune with me that
You see the red light.
when he sees, he'll be like, and he'll touch me and be like, babe, just relax.
I think that's very good.
And of course, I do respect him a lot. So, you know, a lot of the times, if things are happening and, you know, he'll come in and be like, you know, just relax. I'm willing and more than able to just kind of
Calm
relax and allow him to
Lead.
deal with it. And I've done that. You know, when he met me, he's always said to me, yeah, it's Hannah's sister, you know. You know, and then because again, I am that female, you know, I am that female that will run over you if it is that I feel like the direction that you're going is not the direction that I want to go into. But you know, in deciding to, you know, be with somebody, you have to, you know, hold the reins on your thoughts or your actions, because again, whatever you do is a reflection of the other person.
In a nutshell, emotional intelligence is important.
Definitely. So there are times when I'll not say anything, and then when we get home, I'll light him up, and all of that.
Is that
And
spliff?
yes, I'll light him up if I have to. But then again, like I say, he's one of the most
Humblest.
calm, most patient person. So he'll let me just go on.
And it doesn't
And then-
escalate from
no,
that.
No.
Because
And
you
then-
going on and he's just like, I'm just calm
And then
right now.
and then when once he's done, he'd be like, "Come here."
And you come in. And that's attractive. Tell me if I'm lying.
It
That's
is.
very attractive when
So
you don't toe to toe with a woman.
yeah, man, he doesn't. He will not do that. Well, he hasn't done that with me. I mean, him out little and light, when he's ready. But
For the most
he's-
part, he's a man
he's
that does
phenomenal.
what he needs
Yes,
to do.
yes.
Yeah, that is it.
And thing, and a lot of the times I'm so in tuned with him that we know when things are off, and I try to complement whatever is happening. Make sure that
If you have a vision,
I am that
you guys have
supportive
to be on the
partner.
same page,
Yes.
or if not in the same page, in the same book.
we're on the same page. I would think.
Same page and book, different.
Yeah, man, same page, same book, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't have been possible for us to get to the point where we're at right now if it is that
You were hitting heads.
we were not on the same page or in the same book. One of the things that I know about him, he was born in Trelawney as well, like myself, but he was schooled in Kingston. So he's very intuitive, and his intuition is something that I actually admire, because a lot of times, in time they said people have third eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes some things will happen, and I'm like, how did you know? And it's because regardless of what is happening around him,
He's
and how-
observant.
He's very observant, and he's very intuitive, and that's something that I absolutely love about him as well. So yeah.
So wait, for me, the vision in a nutshell, one word.
I would say
You want me to give you
living.
You know what me I gonna say? Purposeful.
Living.
I'm gonna say purposeful for myself. The reason why I feel like the vision for you guys are purposeful, and this is just my opinion, obviously.
And I'll tell you
I
mine.
do love the living, because you can't kill living, isn't it? But I say purposeful because bold is purposeful.
Yes, but
Living,
living is something that we want to do. A lot of us, and I'm not saying that this is a context in which I'm saying that. A lot of us, we work day to day. We pay bills, we look after the kids, and what we do is repetitive, right? But do we actually live?
you
We're just
exist.
surviving, we're just existing, but are
not
we
living.
living, right? And one of the things that I realize that's happening nowadays is that you get a job, you go to school, you become educated, you become qualified,
A hamster wheel.
yes, and now you get a job, but that job now ties you down because benefits, and when you retire, and da 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 da, and you work there for 40 years, right?
No assurance.
And then at the end of it, here you are retiring after you've given 40 years. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with being dedicated to something as long as you believe in it, right? But now you've put off the vacation, you've put off family time, you've done all of this. To what end?
You said something very powerful. I remember watching something to complement what you said about living, and the person was like, how many summers have you seen? And I was like, what do you mean? He said, how many summers have you seen? I said, 30. He said, think about it. You saw 30 summers, 30 winter, 30 autumn, 30 spring. Before you look, life is gone.
Yes.
So he said, when you count it like that, you realize that you don't have enough time.
Don't have enough time.
He said, I thought
And
about
it's not
it.
even enough time. It's just that, again, you said it before, life is what you make it.
Yes.
So Donovan and I, our vision is the same in terms of what we want to achieve and accomplish. Yes, we have children. Yes, we have a business, or we have businesses. But does it mean that we're going to be tied down into something that is going to have us working 365. And then at the end of it, we can't go, if we decide, oh, something is happening in Bonaire.
You can't have that time.
We can't have that time, and we can't go because, no, oh, boss is saying, well, you can't go until December, or you can't take your vacation until whenever. And then when you do take your vacation, you're saving up for the entire year to take a 2-week vacation, and you're coming back to the same the same monotonous kind of paying bills, da 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 da. And there's so much more of this world. I mean,
to explore.
Donovan
right.
used to work at City Transit, and it's unfortunate that we just learned that one of his supervisors got suffered like a stroke about a week ago, and he passed. And he's been working at City Transit now for quite some time. So now that retirement money and those benefits that you were saving towards
wrapped up in the company.
Exactly. So and the thing about it is, I don't want to, if Donovan has benefits, I don't want to say, oh well, okay, if he passes, then at least the benefits are there. No, because it won't mean anything if he's not there for me to enjoy it with him. You get me?
Hence living.
Hence living. So I want to be able to, while we are living, to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, to be able to say, listen, hon, I need a break. I need a weekend somewhere.
And you guys can actually do it.
And not have to think about
any restrictions.
And then a lot, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people do not have that luxury because, again, not everyone can be business owners, right? Not everyone.
But you just said it earlier too. Life is what you make it. So you have to
Life
work
is
towards that goal.
Yes. So, and then I've been a rebellious person from day one.
When you say rebellious, you have to
in terms of not sticking
confiding to the system,
conforming to the system and the narrative and all of that,
and creating a way out.
Yes, and
I think that's what she means, guys.
Yeah, man, that's something that I've always done. When I graduated high school at 15 in Jamaica.
Wow.
I was turned down from a few colleges because of my age.
Because that's very young.
Yes.
That's 3 years prior to...
Yeah, man. Skipped a grade, graduated with 7 CXC subjects at the time, but still couldn't get into college because, again,
You're
my
young.
age, too young. And then when I started out, well, there wasn't any money either, mind you.
Wow.
So went to Hard Trust, did a year, then went to Knox C, did my 2 years, and life just was happening. And at the end of it all, I did what is called an assessment. I don't remember. It's like a personality assessment. And it came back to say that I'm a maverick.
You're a maverick?
Yes.
What does that mean?
All right. Let me see if I can find the assessment on here real quick to tell you what it is. The opportunity for expression of and action on their own ideas and initiatives, variety, challenge, responsibility, and opportunities to demonstrate abilities, recognition, advancement, and tangible rewards for success.
So these are all qualities that are embedded in you. And do you see these things as a part of you throughout your life?
Listen, always. I've always been dubbed a go-getter. I've always been dubbed, like one of my girlfriends said to me recently, she said, Isha, I don't worry about you, If I hear that police lock you up tomorrow morning, I'm not worried because I know you're going to get out. And when she said, because you are one such person, you are so resilient in whatever you do, and that is why I can speak to certain things. When Donovan says to me, boy, I don't know how we're going to do this, and I said, listen, it's already done. And one of the leading things for me is that a lot of the times we don't have the answers to what it is that is going to happen.
Obviously not.
But Creator already has one.
There's a higher power.
Yes. And I believe in that because I've proven that.
Over and over again.
Over and over and over again. When my children were stuck in Jamaica, I go for them.
It's just the mindset.
As in, me go for them.
Yeah, mindset.
There was no letter that I got from the embassy. There was nothing that I got from immigration. There was nothing.
You told me this story.
I went
this was
down.
interesting.
Yeah, man. I went to Jamaica, and when I went down and I saw, my daughter was like, "Mom," and I'm like, "Listen, I'm not leaving you guys here." And she said, "But Mom, you're in a very good job." At this, I was a career services manager for a tertiary institution here, and I'm like, "Listen, I can get back any other job, but I can't get back any of you. So listen, for one banana, we'll always stay here and eat it."
It's gonna happen.
Yup.
And you're very persistent in that regard.
Listen, I sent an email to Senator Chris Murphy, and I explained to him what it is that I was doing here, who I am, and the reasons I'm unwilling to leave my children in Jamaica to come back up. I sent one to my lawyer. Both of them simultaneously put in for what you call an expedited case, an expedited request. This was done the Wednesday. By the Thursday morning, tomorrow Thursday morning after 11, I got an email from Senator Murphy's office to say that it was approved. Big up Senator Murphy.
Big up God.
Big up God.
Big up God.
Big up God.
Big up God. People, that yep. Just goes to show you, say when you...
Words, sound, power. My grandfather has always said that.
We tell people, say belief. They don't understand. Belief is a doubt, and they don't understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe your name is what your name is. You know.
Yep.
So when you know and you act out of already knowing,
yep,
it's
different movements.
Way different movement.
Different movements.
And before we even haven't you experienced that even in this business? Just
Definitely.
Knowing, okay, I know we can do this.
Yeah, man.
I know this is gonna happen.
Every day, all day.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna happen.
Every day, all day.
Speaking it into existence is very powerful.
Every
and it
day,
has done wonders for Isha.
Yes.
Good. Isha, let's get into some of the sweet treats and the excitement of marketing, networking, and collaboration. So
all
talk
right.
about the first collaborators you guys have recently.
All right, so I'll go back to, actually we have more than one. When we moved downtown Hartford, there were, of course, jitters, I would say uncertainty surrounding the move. But again, with anything new, that it comes with that. It's natural. But again, Donovan has these ideas. Sometimes I have to take a book to write them down, right? And he'll bring them to me, and I'm sitting down and I flesh them out with him, and we go through. So when we decided to embark on the venture of coming downtown, it was with the idea that yes, expansion, and we had in mind a certain market, and when we looked at the place and the possibilities of like an event space, all of that came to fruition. When we opened, we've had several birthday parties. We got married in here.
You never told me that part there.
Okay. Yes.
So now this sentiment of leaving this place is impossible.
Yes. So on top of that too, we've hosted quite a bit, quite a few, anniversaries, all of that here so far. So we've used it, and of course at party, we've had that here as well. But again, we were here, and again, Creator has answers for us that we don't see. And alluding to two individuals in particular, DJ Wasim, you've heard of him?
Yeah, this is your host DJ, correct?
Yes, and his wife, Sandra.
Which is now your bartender.
bar manager.
Bar
Yes,
manager.
man. She has been phenomenal in terms of, because I'll tell you this much, I know a lot about organization and setting it up, and payroll, HR, all of that good stuff. Training. Yeah, I know about the kitchen. All of that, and every single meal that is prepared in Lions Den, one, two, or three, I can prepare all of them, right? However, the bar is something that I'm yet to. I don't make cocktails. I can make like a rum and coke, or if you want like a
The
tequila.
basics.
Yes, but the cocktails, those concoctions, it's something that I'm learning,
As you go.
but I'm not yet there.
Gotcha.
And Sandra has been phenomenal with that. She's come on board, and well, they've come on board actually, but around the bar, that's her area. And whenever she's here, whenever we're having events and Sandra is here, we really do not have to do much.
She takes that workload
Yeah,
off.
man, and it's phenomenal. DJ Wasim, big up. They say again, I like to give people their flowers while they're still here and around. DJ Wasim has been totally awesome. He's worked with Donovan on several ideas that, they've had for the space, in terms of promotion, and we do value their input and rely on them a whole lot for a lot of the things that we come up with, and so on. And again, we're not no man is an island, so, and we don't move off of that. So, they're here, they're included, they're partners with
It's
us.
a team.
And yes, and they come and they give us their genuine feedback and their genuine input, and we love that, because at the end of it, it's growth, and we flesh out and we do what needs to be done, but they are on board with us. So again, big up to DJ Wasim and wifey Sandra, because without them, a lot of the things that we're doing wouldn't have been possible, one, and a lot of the insights that we've gotten from both of you have been invaluable, right?
So that's a lot of networking that
Yeah,
you've been doing.
Yep.
Wow.
And I'll say this, a lot of the because we don't want to be known as a Jamaican restaurant, because our cuisine is a mix. It's not just Jamaican food that we sell, right? And we don't want it to be like, oh, I would go down there, but it's a Jamaican spot. So
You really are touch a very interesting part of the set right now, which,
Yes.
which I want you to go more in depth as we talk about menu. Because when you say
yes,
you don't want it to be seen as a Jamaican
No.
restaurant, I want you to define what that means, and then also, like you were already doing, and
Mm-hmm.
then tell us about the menu.
all right. So we've had instances where people were a little bit timid in coming in because of the Jamaican identity. Yes, we are Jamaicans. We're very proud Jamaicans, right? However, what we are doing does not necessarily cater to Jamaicans only. We've had a huge support from the Bayesian community. We've had huge support from the Lucian community, and by extension, a lot of the other Caribbean neighbors, right? We've had a lot of support from people that are Caucasian, if you want to call it that.
A lot of
Spanish.
mixed race.
So we cater to everyone. We do have days when we do our rice, like like a Spanish rice. We do have like the saltfish fritters. The Spanish call it yeah, and with the saltfish bacalao. That's if I'm pronouncing
Wow.
it properly. Yeah. So and then we do have like batter fried mushroom. We have spicy cauliflower bites.
Whoa.
Of course, downtown is where you'll get that kind of thing, and of course, it's a sit down atmosphere where you can come and you can enjoy. You can bring a date if you want to just hang out. We have a full bar, and of course, as we grow, there are other things that are coming, right? But for the most part, our menu, our chef, we call him international, Sir, one of them, Sir Hugh has had what, some 30 something years. You've heard me say this already.
I don't know what he can't cook.
Exactly. There is nothing that we've put in front of him that he has not been able to cook. So, challenge for you guys. If you know something that you think our chef cannot cook, bring it.
He can cook anything,
I believe you.
and he makes anything taste really good. I don't know how he
Listen.
does it. We're trying to figure out that right now.
Sir, you class. And when I say that what he brings to Lions Den is top tier.
Yeah, it has a lot to do not just with the brand but the taste.
Yes.
The taste is obsolete. Let give the menu a little bit breakdown for me for our viewers. We have 3 locations.
Yes.
The menu vary based on location, correct?
Yes.
So that means you're not just getting location, but you're also getting variety by location.
Yes.
So you don't have to go in depth, but give them a preview of each location.
So our main location, and that's our what you call that
The original.
the original. Yes.
Yes.
We do serve breakfast there, so we are open from 8 a.m. So we have, I don't know how many people know what is called rondong, but it's cooked with coconut milk, and then we add some vegetables to it. Goes pretty well with ground provisions. So we have that every morning. We have porridge. Our porridge is always made with oats and sea moss. So if we're doing peanut porridge, it has oats and sea moss in there. If we're doing banana, plantain, any one of the porridges that we offer in the mornings, it is always made with oats and sea moss. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with sea moss, it's a kind of a seaweed, but it grows in the ocean. It is said to contain over 92 minerals that your body needs. Your body needs 106. This is a superfood because it alone contains 92 minerals that your body needs. So, and most of the stuff that we do contains sea moss in there. All our smoothies, the sea moss fruit smoothie has sea moss. The green machine has sea moss. The berry blast has sea moss. We also have one called Full Charge that has sea moss in there. So most of our drink, and then the others that we do are actually natural blends. So we have turmeric and ginger. We have ginger with an assorted variety of fruits. We have ginger and pineapple. We have sorrel and ginger. Those were locally made by a lady named Chef K. Backstory: Chef K lived 2 houses up from me back home in Trelawney. And it was just by coincidence that we met her, and she actually knows one of Donovan's siblings. So when he called and be like, "Hey, I'm linking you with this lady that I know that makes drinks, and when we got on the phone with her, come to find out, this is somebody that I've been familiar with practically all my life."
And then that's added. So she
Yes.
makes all the natural
She
flavors.
makes like the turmeric, ginger, all of that.
So you guys-
and this is not from concentrate.
Ooh.
Her factory is in Waterbury, and we have gone down there to see the process and everything. We've been in the warehouse with everything. So she imports the turmeric, the ginger, the everything.
So as we're getting menu, we're getting to know networking and
Yes,
collaboration
ma'am.
as we
Yes.
go.
So she has been, her juices they've been really good. A hot seller here. Sometimes we've had people come in to buy four or 5 juices at a time. And again, not too sweet. And we pride ourselves on always making sure that what we're giving to the public is something that we ourselves are willing to consume, right? There's nothing at all that we are selling to anyone that we ourselves have not had. You know, you go into a restaurant and you'll ask somebody, "How does this taste?" And they'll say to you that, "Hey, I'm not really sure." That's not the case. It got to a point where my children would say to me, "Mom, we aren't vegan, or we, and so on." But again, eventually I'm hoping that they'll see that this is a good way to live, a cleaner way and come on board. But again, that is their decision.
This decision.
Yes.
So the main location have breakfast
And lunch. And we're open 6 days a week from Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
You guys then so now the second location, it's more of a lounge, bar,
It's a bar,
restaurant.
lounge, event space. All
This
of that.
offers a different variety of foods.
Yes.
Give us the top 5 popular food that
Wow.
makes it stand out as different from the original.
All right. So one of the distinction between the location at 250 Main Street and the other location at 3347 Main Street, which is our mother location, we're pescatarian. So we do offer seafood here. So you on any given day, well, we're open from Wednesday through Sunday from 12 noon until whenever, because the time varies depending on what is happening, and I'll explain that in a few. But we do start with lunch. We do have lunch specials on a daily basis, where you can get chunks, rice, veg for $15. You can also get shrimp if you're into that, or you can get salmon. It's just a lunch special, $15. You can't beat that. Also, we do have a full bar, so if persons are interested in coming down and just having a drink or two, definitely that's on there as well. We do snapper fish, we do salmon, sweet chili, garlic butter, and again, our chef, phenomenal, because there is nothing that he cannot cook. So we mostly, and we do still offer all the options of the vegan, the vegan vegetarian options are still
A part of it.
part of what we offer here.
Just an extension of
It's
that.
just an extension that we do the seafood.
So
Yes.
if you realize that the menu just upgraded as you upgraded with the next location.
Yes.
So now, guys, we're talking about the menu. We're getting so in depth.
Yes.
And I just want to take the time out to say to you guys, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for staying tuned with us. And don't forget, you are tuning into Currently Trending by That's Trending. And we're sitting here with Isha, one of the CEOs of the Lion Den restaurant in the Hartford, Connecticut area. So, Isha, just to fast forward to location 3 and the variety of food that is there. Now tell us the difference between this now location 3, if it's just an extension to give what is location 3 about.
It is an extension of
1 and
Lions
2?
Den 1.
It's an
mainly.
extension of one, Lions Den 1
because it's fully vegan vegetarian, right?
but more in a, I would say more in a upscale
environment.
in an upscale way. You know why I said that? And just I'll give my opinion, and then you can add to that.
Okay.
So the original location, based on my visiting it, it's more like grab and go.
Yes.
This third location, we already talked about. The second was bar, lounge, you know what I mean?
Event space, all of that.
The third location gives a food court.
Yes.
So you're there with other people and other restaurants, and it goes to show that the Lions Den can exist in such an environment.
Yes.
And still be Lions Den.
Lions Den.
So yeah.
We have it's like a food court.
It is a food court.
There are over 22 restaurants. It's at Parkville Market, just so we're putting that out there. 1400 Park Street.
That's it.
And we are, it's a different kind of vibe. If you've ever been to like Big E.
Yes.
So sometimes it reminds me of that, because you have persons that are coming in and they don't necessarily want like a huge plate. They want something that they're able to buy from that person and still come and sample something over there and go over the next and so on. So when we looked at the demographics there and what it entailed, we had to come up now with a menu that,
It's conducive to that.
yes, and still kept again our identity as Lions Den vegetarian. So on the menu over there, we have vegan burgers, we have sweet potato fries, we or batter fried mushroom and cauliflower bites have been a huge hit. We do have a lot more variety of patties over there, even though we still do have patties at 33.47. But we have ackee patty, chickpeas patty, lentil, we have spinach, we have pumpkin, we
Wow.
have vegetable. And then, of course, we do collaborate with this dessert artisan that's here locally in Connecticut, Vegemite Eats. We met them last year at our inaugural
Veg Fest.
Veg Fest
I have to
celebration.
remind her, because, yeah, the Veg Fest event that you guys coordinate and actually bring to the Hartford area. I don't even remember if we ever had a Veg Fest.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that after. But we met Sheena and her husband. They were actually vendors at Veg Fest last year at the Bushnell. And suffice it to say, they sold out everything. I think they were one of the first 2 or 3 vendors to...
Sold out.
They sold out everything. So when Parkville came about, and Donovan and I were sitting down and kind of going through trying to determine what we would be offering to the customers, that just came to mind, like ding ding ding, so I reached out and be like, hey Sheena, listen, we have a new spot and we think that your cupcakes might do well there.
And have they been doing well?
They have been doing more than well.
Out of 10.
11.
That is it.
Yes.
So,
And I'm not just saying that because we have like 7 different flavors. I've had all 7 of them.
you really trying everything.
Yes, because again, I have to know what it is that my customers are having.
Right.
So if you come and you ask, hey, Asha, how does this taste? What do you think? I want to be able to give you my honest feedback, right? So yeah, the cupcakes are phenomenal. They are completely vegan, gluten-free, all of that good stuff. And trust me, you will not miss anything. So we've partnered with Vegemite Eats, and they're bringing their cupcakes to us, and we are selling their cupcakes as a part of what we're offering to our customers.
Matches your identity.
Yes.
It's healthy. It's not made with sugar, guys. It's made with, what's it called again?
Dates.
So it's natural flavors. Not natural flavors like we see on products in the store. We're talking about real
no dairy,
natural
no eggs
flavors. Okay.
Yes.
And that's one of the hottest sellers. I think the cupcake is one of the biggest hits down
Yes.
there, alongside all the other
Yes.
things like the patties, which is very
Yep.
good and a great variety. And if you would like to put it in a nutshell, it's a great compilation from all 3 locations.
Yes.
And what I realized that the 2 location brings, in my opinion, is the ability to say, okay, I've had the original visit and I've been to Parkville, but I want to go on a date.
Yes.
And I want to have more like a private setting in a healthy environment, eating healthy.
Yes.
And remember, even though it's a pescatarian restaurant in location 2, which is 250 Main Street,
Downtown.
you still have all those varieties you can choose from when it comes to the original location.
Yes.
And I think that essence is just beautiful. So you guys have to remember, don't limit how you can be versatile at the Lions Den, because there's no limit. There is no limit. You can be as versatile as possible. If you want to grab and go, and the original location is there. If you want to sit down in a food court with family and friends, because they upstairs they have like a game room for kids.
Yes.
So the versatility in that area
There's
is
a
very
bar
nice.
there as well.
Yeah, there's a bar there as well. So it gives
a-
a live,
Yep.
a live.
There's a vape.
It's really
shop
nice. It's
there.
really nice.
Yeah, man.
And if you want a private sit down,
yes,
you come to 250 Main.
come to 250 Main
And you have a
downtown.
nice little one-on-one with your person. You know what I mean? And even if you don't know, but there's a bar, obviously, like she said, so if you drink
Yes.
wine, whatever you do, they have it here. So it's a very flexible growth.
Yes,
It's a very bold move.
yes,
And I think upgrading the menu has been one of the most exciting part for me. All right, so I've been eating at Lions Den for a while, but the upgrade of the menu gives me more versatility in option
and variety.
and it makes me feel like, okay, you know, sometimes you get
Can't
tired
get
of,
bored.
yeah, you get tired of something.
Can't get bored.
And then now you having 3 locations, and then I say, which one more and more?
Yep.
Like I call you on the phone, I was like, I'm not coming to 250 May, but I'm going to the other one.
Yes.
Because, you know, sometimes it's good to go back to foundation. People might not get that, but
Yep.
when you step into the foundation, the environment is different than here. So sometimes, you know, that grab and go moment there. So, and I feel like if I had like a big family and we were going to chill, I would go to Parkville and sit on those benches and then give them like that experience. And then if I'm one-on-one with my person, I'm definitely going to the 250
Definitely.
Main Street.
Definitely.
Before we all right, so we cover menu, but there's something very exciting I want to also add, and I think people need to realize it's
Yes.
not on the list, but I'm bringing it up, and I know you will give us the information. We
I'll do
do
my best.
have food trucks.
Yes,
This is something we cannot forget to mention.
2 of them.
There's food trucks available for popping up and serving at your needs, at your family birthday party, whatever event. Once you're in the Hartford, Connecticut area, that is available.
Yes.
And I think that's also exciting that we can be at your doorstep. So I don't know, that can call it Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever. All me know is like
We
them
are-
fully flexible.
So you can find us on DoorDash at all 3 locations as well.
See there again? So
We-
the food trucks are there.
Yes.
And that gives accessibility in
Yes.
any
So
case.
if
Catering.
if you're not able to make it to any of the locations, DoorDash.
That's the one-on-one, you know what I mean? But if you keep an event food truck,
Yes. if you don't have DoorDash, you can always go onto Clover. There's a system there that you are able to order your food through Clover and come to pick it up or send someone to pick it up.
wow.
So that is an option as well.
How much option you have?
We do have Grubhub as well.
Okay, listen to me. All
And
right,
we-
listen.
And we have Uber Eats.
You see, these are not on the listener, but guess what? It's good that we're talking about these options because
Yes.
I don't think you were thinking about these things. But you see, when we have purposeful conversation, I'm
Yes.
gonna go with my word right now.
Yes.
We get bold results. See? So,
Quite so.
So listen to me, people. Learn it, know it, never forget it.
Anybody that knows Donovan knows that he's been involved in this yearly celebrity soccer tournament.
Yes.
He's been the one to put that
Yes.
on. And
That's where the
promote of it.
powerhouse come from.
Yes. Also, he's been giving back to the Hartford community for quite some time, but he's been doing that out of his own pocket.
Right.
And while nothing is wrong with that, but now we've taken it a step farther. Again,
Gotcha.
that word bold comes to mind, right? So we officially registered our foundation last year, and the objective of it is to use proceeds from our foundation to assist at-risk youths.
Nice.
Youths that again, he's big in the whole
Soccer.
soccer thing.
Yeah, he loves football. Yeah.
And anybody knows Donovan knows that he has quite a number of children, right?
You're funny.
So, so on top of that, we have some young ones now that are into athletics. One of our son recently competed in the indoor track. He got a bronze medal for overall performance. Another one of our sons, he competed in the middle school soccer championship. Their school won. Then he moved on to basketball. They went to the state championship and lost by 1 point. And now both of them are on the outdoor track team. And they also do soccer after school. I just signed them up for outdoor track outside of school as well. Again, they have a lot of energy, so
Why not?
It's just finding outlets for them as well. And of course, they do have the ability. So when you look at it, we we are putting them into programs that, over time, our foundation will look to be sponsoring children to get into these programs, or so that's the objective. We want to be able to, as much as possible, see children, see youths that might need the help to propel themselves forward. Not all of us are going to do well at academics, right? And we are living in an era right now where college is not necessarily something that some of our children want to go to, right?
You're making opportunities, basically.
They want to be able to do that technical stuff, those hands-on training that will allow them to get a skill rather than a degree in whatever field. So again, there are several routes that
it benefits.
It's possible for us to take in order to get to whatever destination that
Gotcha.
we so desire. And in doing that, we want to be that scaffold, basically, that will assist these youths and provide them an outlet so that it will take them away from whatever else
could be a distraction.
Yes.
All right.
And according as my grandmother normally say, devil find work for idle hands. So we want to be able to put those mechanisms in place so that at the end of it, we are able to contribute to our community and the wider society in whatever little way that we can. And Powerhouse Foundation is one such.
And
Veg Fest.
So tell us about Veg Fest for this year.
So much like last year, Veg Fest concentrates on wellness.
Healthy living.
So overall wellness, well-being. And a huge part of that is what you eat, because then what you eat affects how you perform, whether you sleep or you don't sleep. It affects your ability to work. And if you can't work, you can't make money. And if you don't have money, again, you're not financially well. So again, a lot of what we can see, it starts there. It starts with what you eat, and then it spreads out to the other areas of wellness. So what we've been concentrating on is having people come in. So we have like Sam from Spin Fitness who will come with his bike, and you can sign up with him on that day. He does have little sessions throughout the day that you can if you want to, be a part of on that day, just to get a feel of what it is. Not a problem. We also of course, great food is going to be there. We have a kiddie village. I'm a teacher by profession, and I do have some other friends that are teachers as well, that we come together and make our own kiddie village with games, learning games, tactile things that your children are able to interact with on that day. Also, we have music at the end of it. We pride ourselves on, Shakespeare had said this, if music be the food of love, play on, give me excess of it. I love music. And I listen to all genres of music. So of course, at the end of a day, the most relaxing thing for me is to sit down and unwind and listen to some good music, good vibe.
Jazz.
Jazz, anything. So this year, the plan is no different. We will be bringing everything to you, and then some, right? Of course, we have Access Health CT, who is one of our major sponsors, and of course, if you're talking about wellness, you have to talk about health. A lot of the times, our males, and even some of us females, don't like going to the doctor. We don't like, trying. We have to be at a point where we're like, we have to go to the doctor now. Like when you're on the verge of feeling like something is about to happen, sometimes it's too late. So we do have people that are coming in to talk about that. We have people that are coming to talk about financial wellness, how to invest your money, how to make sure that at the end of it, your money is working for you and not the other way around. So again, we have Grand Financial is one of our major sponsors, and he'll be on board as well. Of course, Evans Transportation. He's one of our sponsors, so big up. I'm bigging up the sponsors as we go along. But yeah, it's going to be a good look. It's free to attend. Just come out
and enjoy.
Food will be there. Entertainment will be there. And of course, you will be educated on how to live well, how to be well, how to cook well, of course. So, can't go wrong.
And your body will thank you for it.
Definitely.
So, in a nutshell, what I get from you explaining VegFest is health is wealth.
Yes.
Health is wealth. But to wrap up everything we just said, Isha, this is so important for you to share with our viewers. Um, this part of the podcast is our closing, but I just want you to share with them the future of Lion Den and the feedback from your customers on this journey.
All right. So I will talk about the feedback first. If you go onto Google, we are a solid probably 4.6, 4.7 at the Lions Den Vegetarian under that banner. For Lions Den Restaurant and Lounge downtown, we are a solid 5. And we've gotten roughly about 20 something views, thereabout. And of course, we do have people that are not going to go on Google, but the feedback has been good. We welcome it. Again, work in progress, and we will never claim to know everything. But one thing that we do know is that we grow from strength to strength, and we try to improve on what it is that we have. So we will never become complacent. Steve Jobs spoke about being hungry. The founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, in one of his speech before he passed, basically we are staying hungry because at no point do we want to become so complacent that we forget what our vision and our mission is, right? So of course there will always be room for improvement. There will always be a space, where we accept constructive criticism. And of course, we will not get it right all the time. None of us are perfect. Do we strive for perfection? Of course. Because at the end, even though it might not be attainable, but we want to come close to it, right? So we are putting the mechanisms in place, mind you. We're getting the right team in place. And of course, things do happen. We get up every day and I have a plan. I have my book that we write stuff out, or I have my phone, or go on my laptop, and then by the morning, one phone call, and it deviates from what it is that we had written down. So but we try, we whatever happens, we come back to our original plan and we try to stick to it as much as possible. Life is lifing, they would say, right? But so far the feedback has been phenomenal, has been really good from our customers, and we do implore you guys and urge you to come and give us your honest feedback. We do listen and we do our best to take from that what we can, and to make sure that we're you see that we're listening to you. The vision for Lions Den is to become a group, again looking to franchise, and of course we want to be a household name. It's our vision, it's our aim. It would be one of our greatest accomplishments to be an entity whereby once you mention Lions Den, it is associated with consistency, good food, good vibe. It will take some work to get there. We're not there as yet, but we're working on it. And I believe that's the most that you could ask from us.
I have a quick question just before we shut off.
Sure.
When it comes to franchise, what is your budgeting on that for individuals that might be interested?
So that's something that our Donovan and I and our legal team are currently working on.
Okay, so guys, we don't
Yes.
have that information yet, but
No.
if you are interested,
If you are,
I guess
yes.
if you are interested, you will first visit location, try the food,
Yes.
and upon doing that, I'm sure by then Isha will have a contract with a budget on it.
So we are working assiduously with our legal team to iron out some kinks so that whatever it is that we're doing, it's ironclad, and at the end of it, no one will feel as if
Pressured or
la- it.
pushed in a corner.
Yes.
It's flexible.
We want to make sure that with any move, though we're not able to see tomorrow, but we want to be able to, when we sit down, be able to have something on paper that
Solid.
if you that's trending come tomorrow morning and say, hey, I'm thinking about franchising. What are you offering? What's on the table? We want to be able to put something in front of you that you would deem reasonable and something worthwhile
That is it.
getting into. We already know that the food is good. That we know, right? So it's just a matter of maintaining and some other little things.
Hey.
But again,
Soon some restaurant.
that is it.
Thank you so much for checking in this week on Currently Trending Live. I had the pleasure to sit down with Isha. We got more in depth about a lot of things that I think that on most of our interviews were maybe like a preview. And
I don't want to cut you, but I want to say something else too.
go ahead.
All right. So on a weekly, I think we skipped this one. On a weekly basis, we do have, on Wednesdays, we have an all-day happy hour Wednesdays. Thursdays, we do have karaoke here on Thursdays. Fridays is Rhythms in the Den with DJ Wasim. Saturdays are reserved for persons who may want to rent the place out for celebration events, so like birthday parties, anniversaries, all of that good stuff. And on Sundays like today, we are having what is called Mature Sundays with DJ Boogie, DJ Wasim, DJ Denny in the building. So if you are looking for somewhere to go on a weekly basis, something that is going to be classy, not with the, then Lions, then downtown 250 Main Street is the place to be. On top of that, we are having Charlie Black's Up Close and Personal on June 1st, right here in the Den downtown. You'll be seeing more flyers of that coming soon. And of course, check out our platforms, lionsandvegetarian@gmail.com. We are on Facebook, we're on IG, we are on TikTok. And just hit us up. My husband is an avid social media user, so you will see if you didn't get any of that, go onto Donovan Bell's page. All the information is on there. He's tagged into it. So of course, big things are coming. Of course, in this month actually, we have 420. We have a huge celebration here starting at 4:20 in the daytime.
Follow Lines then on
follow
IG,
the line. Yep.
TikTok, and Facebook for updates.
Yes.
I think that would be a great start.
Yes.
And I guess the 420 flyers should be on there. If not, there will be posted.
Yeah.
And then
we will post it up by later today to tomorrow. It will be up.
And we'll be having a
And it's
pop
been
the
posted.
balloon soon. Don't.
Yes.
The pop the balloon will be a whole little classy vibe. Nothing ratchet. It will be very intellectual people that are chosen.
So Lions Den is planning to, in association with That's Trending, we'll be hosting a Pop the Balloon challenge.
It's so much
For
spice.
all those individuals who are interested in finding love.
We're bringing
the
it to the
Den
den.
downtown. Yes.
So people, thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you, Isha, for sitting down with us.
It's my pleasure.
And see you guys next week. Cool.